Tom, I will say, any club that gets knocked out in the semi-finals of the Champions League, their team will put out a tweet like, "Oh, we played well." Like,
I bet you Barca didn't.
How much do you want to bet?
But like, 100 quid. I bet you Barca didn't.
Check their UK and Spanish account.
Yeah,
as a fan, why were you more fired up for the quarter-final against Real Madrid than the semi-final against PSG? Why was the crowd so silent?
I'll tell you what, I can tell you why if you want. Because, first of all, Real Madrid, historically, like, they're huge in the Champions League, and like, as an aura-felt game, that is bigger. And then B,
this is what...
No, hear me out. B, what happened in that game with the free kicks was mental, Lewis. When you don't...
No, I'm on about the pre-match. I'm on about the pre-match. You had the fireworks, the fire.
I don't know,
the
man.
Club. I'm on about, like, the club
I think it was. But my point is, during the PSG game, like, it is hard. Like, when you don't touch the ball for 45 minutes, like, it's hard to get up for it. And as
we beat them
match-going fans, Tom, over there, you know that's true. What did you say?
I just said we beat them 4-1. I just think it's relevant.
Well, it's not, because it's a completely different team.
I feel that's a bit relevant.
The end of the season is near, which means only 2 Super 6 rounds remaining. That means 2 chances for the £250,000 jackpot and 2 chances to top our mini league. This weekend's Super 6 round is open, and you can make your selections over on the app. While you're there, come and join our mini league with the code PTCH24, where you can also win a £100 classic football shirt voucher. So head over to the Super 6 app for your free chance at the jackpot. Follow the link in the description and sign up now. Good luck.
I just think with Arsenal, you do spend a lot of time worshipping the teams that you're playing against without realising. You really do. It's like you put them on a pedestal above you.
We're playing the mighty Real Madrid. Madrid are beatable.
The treble winners, Man City. Yeah. It's just like, it's always like putting other teams on a pedestal to sort of like cope for you failing to get past them. Like PSG, there's no excuse.
What do you think of Carragher's comments about Rice, by the way?
What's he said?
Obviously, Carragher, obviously he says that no one should tell any fans how they feel, then proceeds to tell fans how they feel. But
I'll quickly but the only thing Barcelona tweeted after they went out in the Champions League is, "We will be back." That's a big club. That's how a big club responds to losing. You go, "I'm so proud of the boys. They did great to get to the semi-finals." Fucking embarrassing.
Now go check Liverpool's account when they got knocked out. Go back and check it now.
No, I'm not going all the way back to the fucking quarterfinals.
Go check when Newcastle went out.
The difference is
check when Newcastle went out now.
Yeah, but they will do that because they're cringe as well.
We're a different standard, and also we win trophies.
What do you think of Carragher's comments? I thought it was a bit like just wrong.
That's what he said. He said
in terms of Declan, I think he's been Arsenal's best player this season. I'm not saying he'd give it another 12 months.
Why'd you stop talking like that?
I'm not saying he'd give it another 12 months, but I think those doubts may kick in another 12 months. What are you on about, Carragher?
I mean, no, I don't know. Yeah, I can understand where he's coming from, though.
I'll tell you what.
If you have another trophyless season next season, he will be thinking...
Carragher's been on a generational run of, like, Twitter comments.
Has he?
Yeah, he's coming out with some crap.
I don't know, but I don't know. I think like Rice is one of the players who actually has a bit of balls in your team, and I feel like he's quite like obviously he left West Ham, but he had to make that step up. I think he's quite loyal of a player. I don't think he would go abroad. I think he's happy in London. Arsenal are a club that should be winning stuff, and I feel like he thinks he can be like the
man to do
the man. And I think he is. He's been the last few in those games. He doesn't go hiding. He actually those free kicks were fucking unbelievable.
Even the way he takes the ball, he wants to get on the ball and travel and make things happen. And it's not like, I know the cup run's not necessarily great, but Champions League, at least we are sort of competing. We're not like we're fucking miles away. Do you know what I mean? Like we anyway.
You are in the league, but
yeah.
We're not miles away in the league, though. If you look at the
really are,
you can finish behind us,
obviously this season, if you look across the last 3 seasons, have you seen the graphic of the points tally?
It's gone down, hasn't it? This season.
It's
gone down a lot.
Have we got it on here? I've put it in the.
You got 89 points last season. The maximum you can get this season is 74.
No. I know.
Is it the ref's fault?
No. Hang on, Tom. I'm talking about this graphic here. Last 3 seasons, points won in the league. Like that shows. I know. Obviously, we've been pipped by City twice and Liverpool once. It does show we are
Arsenal
competing. We got 4. Well, Sky Sports came up with it.
It's just such an Arsenal stat to be 4 points up and still have no trophy.
Yeah, do you know how mad? By the way, do you know how fucking mental it is? Lads, let me just tell you this, right? This is what it's like.
We're second on this table, though.
At some point, you just have to laugh about it, okay? Because in the last 3 years, City have got 245 points, 2 titles. Arsenal got 241 points, 0 titles. Liverpool got 232.
What don't you understand about this? Though, like,
We can't get over the line, Tom. Do you know how stressful it is?
You're not even near the line this season.
4 points off City.
You haven't been near the line for 3 months. I don't know.
I genuinely.
To me, that's a nothing graphic. I don't know what
You
you're
can't-
saying.
by the way,
I can't believe we're this high up on that. I actually think we win a Premier League. I think we win a Premier League before Arsenal. Genuinely,
I wouldn't even.
I think next year we'll be amongst it and finish above Arsenal again. And like we might be an outside chance if teams have poor seasons next year.
This is another thing, right? You're going to finish on a maximum of 74 points, and it's been one of the worst leagues in terms of drop off in the top teams in years.
And what I'd say is,
Arsenal are part of that as well.
no, but you're on about the progression you make under Arteta.
You know what I mean?
Your progression.
You shouldn't have though.
No, but you say that about every
You've had
team.
no reason to drop off. No, but City have lost Rodri. Chelsea have had problems. Like other
Don't deny that Arsenal haven't had their injury problems this year. You can't deny that.
But every team
no, you
does.
can't deny
Every
that.
team does.
You
though.
can't just
no,
because
you used
City
to
lost Rodri and just completely
You're being
disregard
a
Arsenal.
hypocrite.
That is unfair.
You're being a
That is
hypocrite,
unfair.
though.
I'm not being a hypocrite.
Because I used to always bring up this argument, and you used to laugh me out when I used to bring this up a couple of seasons ago. You used to laugh it out the window, but now it's Arsenal suffering. It is.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
So what's the reason for your big drop off then?
Can't put my finger on it.
Well, you just said it was
Obviously,
injuries.
injuries are a huge part of that, but also I think
But what
we just
injuries-
haven't
what-
had the.
Which injuries have derailed you though?
Well, we had no striker for half the season.
You.
Come on, Tom.
Who was your starting striker at the start of the season?
Havertz.
He's not a striker anyway, is he? So
But he is almost a striker. He
should
play
have
up
kept
front.
Nketiah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like
just-
Jesus as well. Like Saka was out for 3 months, our best player.
which we went through that. You didn't really have a drop off
You asked
without him.
what I think it is. I think injuries are a huge part of that, but
Yeah.
a lot of other teams have also had that. So I think that's why you see a lot of clubs who have dropped off, because I think that's been a major part. But I also think we just haven't had like the right at the last minute. Do you know what I mean? We've only got,
What in terms of like finishing? You mean? Or do you
yeah, just like we haven't had that
Cojones.
clinicalness. Do you know what I mean? Like even Erdegaard over the last 3 or 4 weeks just hasn't had, like he's been in so many positions where
He's
he just fucking smashed
He's
it, son.
fucking shit, isn't
Do
he?
you know what I mean though? But like it's not until
shit.
this week he started putting his foot through it. He hasn't scored, but he started to put his foot through it a little bit, but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, it is too late. That's when
you need the more characters like Declan Rice to step up and be the leaders on field.
My thing
you
for
need those
us-
guys to really go, lads, just fucking put your foot through it.
But
Or just do something. Do you know what I mean?
the only way you get that is like, say, Declan Rice being that guy who isn't scared and rising up to the occasion. It does fill other players with a bit of confidence. You just
marry
need a
him?
few. I do actually. But the thing with the problem with Arsenal is, right, you've had this like improvement, okay, but now you're sort of steadying here. But like other teams are now catching you, and you're like not really doing anything. So it's going to get harder next year for you to do anything. I think Aston Villa will be right up there. Chelsea, I think
Villa
will.
already got to sell. Like no.
Yeah, they do have to sell a bit. Chelsea, I don't know. No, I
never
think
know,
sort of
like-
Villa. I'd say as a footballing side, though, right now Villa are better than you.
In what world?
I think Villa's better than
Don't
Arsenal.
go make a good point and end it like that.
I think Villa are better than Arsenal.
How?
I just think as a team, if they played today, who do you fancy?
Arsenal.
Do you genuinely?
Yeah, they're better than them.
I just think Emery's just a clever manager and knows how to manage those
He's so
scenarios.
clever. That's why they're sixth, and Arsenal are.
They had a good season in the Champions League. They've been fighting a lot of battles.
Better than Arsenal. In every metric, Villa have been worse than Arsenal.
They're going to finish
season.
third.
Which will still be above Villa.
Yeah, but you have
Such an
to
immature
you have to
point.
put it in perspective of expectations, like we say. Villa
I
have
think
had
a lot of people-
Villa have had a better season.
No. When you're trying to tell me Villa are a better football team than Arsenal,
Actually,
so
they are.
forget about
how? Explain why.
expectations. You're telling me they're better than them, but in
Why?
no metric are they better.
Why?
Okay, I understand your argument. Maybe I phrased my original point a bit wrong.
So you don't agree with your point again?
No, I do. I think they're a better team.
How?
How can you agree with your point, but then you phrased it wrong?
I understand I haven't really got any actual stats to back that up. It's just my personal opinion. They're a better team. They have a better manager. And I feel like next
How
year...
are they better?
Again, they're not high on the table, so I guess, yeah, that is a
They haven't gone further in any of the competitions other than the FA Cup, which they lost
But if
to
you
Palace.
actually look over the last 3 seasons, the gap really isn't that big. And there are teams that are gaining.
50 points?
My overall point is teams below are gaining on Arsenal.
50 points isn't a lot.
Well,
Also,
they were 30 points ahead of Newcastle last season, and we're going to finish above them. So it's already...
Also,
you keep
Lewis,
doing
Arsenal-
this. Stick
Lewis,
to 1 point.
Lewis, Arsenal beat them 2-0 and 2-2 this season.
I don't know why. I don't know how I found myself fighting Aston Villa's corner, but
Yeah, I don't know why you brought them up.
I do think I feel like again. I feel like they're more likely to win a trophy in the near future than Arsenal. I just feel like when it comes down to getting over and getting to that edge, use a fucking bottle job.
What line have they got over?
They've had a tricky season this year, but next year will be better.
How have they had a tricky season?
Well, they've had to navigate Champions League. It's the same that we had,
So
where we were
Arsenal.
Yeah, but yous are built for the Champions League. Yous have got the depth and everything.
They got Unai Emery.
Yeah, you're on about they've got
one of the greatest European managers.
It's the same issue that we had when we weren't ready for the Champions League quite. When you've been in the Champions League for season after season, you are used to that amount
they
of
were in
game.
Europe the year before and got to
The Champions League's a very different level, though, isn't it?
No, but they were still having to
Champions League's a
navigate
very
two
different
games.
No, but it's a very different level.
Oh, is it?
It's, yeah.
Champions League, very different level, is it?
Definitely. Yeah. Well, I'm not here trying to say Europa League's the same as Champions League. Like, it's still better than your season, though, if Tottenham get it.
See, you can't do that. You big up this whole Europa League winning it.
I
but
don't
then it's
like.
a completely different level.
I don't like the
No,
Europa
we're not
League.
on about that because Villa were in the Conference League, not the Europa League.
I was at the Conference League.
Anyways, let's talk about this season.
No, it doesn't matter.